doesn't know it, but I do. He's the one. His eyes are deep blue with flecks of gold that shoot out like stars in the night sky. Sawyer, I love you. We are eating dinner, tater tots and ketchup. He likes to call it kapach. His head tilts toward his plate, one tot in hand, mid-dip in a pool of red. I don't love you. I love Daddy. I slowly lay my hands on either side of my plate. My fingers are outstretched. The wooden table keeps me up. He's not smiling. He's not kidding. I want to run up the stairs, slam the door, and cry in the middle of my bed. I tell myself, kids go through phases. I read about it when my son was 2, when he started choosing my husband over me. Don't take your child's parental preferences personally. That's what the books say. But I do. I'm his mother. He's supposed to love me the most. But he doesn't. And I know why. An hour before I found out I was pregnant with Sawyer, I had my first ever thought of suicide. It was cold and damp. I was outside, wrapped in my bathrobe. When I looked up to the tree above my porch, I saw myself hanging from its branches. He shouldn't remember, but I know he does. He remembers everything, like the carpenter tool belt he got for his 3rd birthday a year ago, the one he never played with, so I tucked it in a plastic bin months ago and shoved it to the back of the garage. He begged to play with that tool belt the other day. I didn't even remember it. He had only seen it one time. He doesn't forget. Within days of finding out I was pregnant, I was barraged with impulses to take my life. The impulses soon escalated into images of harming those I love. It was an unrelenting chorus of what ifs. What if I fall asleep, sleepwalk, and slice my husband into tiny pieces? What if I pour bleach into his food? What if someone walks in front of my car and I don't brake? What if I drive off a cliff with my baby tucked inside me? I wondered if it was possible to be allergic to pregnancy. I searched the web for a diagnosis, but everything said postpartum. There was nothing about being pregnant and losing your mind. Doctors were perplexed. Therapists told me to white knuckle it. Obstetrician said, "Be happy, you're having a baby." Before this, I was fearless. I had traveled to India alone. I had lived in Ecuador. I'd driven across the United States by myself twice. Now I couldn't even leave the house. I wonder now if my depression during pregnancy is why my son is so slow to warm up when he meets new people. Is that why he's so quiet, so cautious on diving boards? Why he's so scared to put his head under water in the pool? Is this his scar tissue? When I was 5 months pregnant, I went to a prenatal yoga class. The teacher was young and toned, sitting on top of a wooden platform like she was special. A white furry bear rug peeked out from under her folded up legs, dressed all in white. Her head was wrapped like an Indian Sikh. She told the room of big-bellied women to be careful of our thoughts. What we think now will shape who our babies become. I wanted to kick her into the wall. Friends told me it was my reaction to losing myself, but it felt bigger. Years later, I learned that the day I saw myself hanging in a tree, the same day I discovered I was pregnant, I was 5 weeks pregnant. That's the point when a woman's reproductive hormones shift into high gear. These hormones are supposed to make women protect their young. But as my progesterone spiked to create tiny organs and vertebrae, my system short-circuited. My brain went haywire. At 6 months pregnant, I sat on my therapist's couch. She explained that my thoughts were ego-dystonic. It means I was aware that the thoughts were bad, and therefore not as psychotic as I felt. She told me depression during pregnancy is the #1 complication of having a baby. It affects 1 in 7 women. She said you're purposefully avoiding everything that scares you so you can make sure you never go through with your thoughts. She was right. Every horrible thought I had, I avoided. I feared running over people, I stopped driving. I feared knives and ovens, I stopped cooking. I feared bleach, I stopped washing. I feared killing my husband when I slept, I stopped sleeping. I feared being an unsafe and dangerous mother, I was going to kill myself once my son was born. I was put on a high-dose antidepressant that balanced my hormones. I could move through the world without fear. I found joy in the simple things again, like birds singing and sun shining on my face, like having a baby. Now I'm better, except in the moments when my son says, "I love my daddy, not you." In these moments, my chest squeezes tight and my thoughts race. A voice inside says, "He knows he should be scared of you." This is my scar tissue.